Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zongkong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dubden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice this evening, the greatly loving and compassionate Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Sumo, Tanten Gacho, Dubden Siti, Dubden Kama, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma teaching assistants, temple directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
Hola amigo, que quiero mucho. Sugoi, ichiba, kimochi ii, jumi, yapi, puri puri, konbanwa. 保护，保护，保护。
Today we practice Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva as the main deity, the deity yoga. And Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva has myriad manifestations, billions and trillions. And Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva is also the Yidam, or main meditational deity of many people. And her primary Pure Land, as we all know, is at the Mount Potaloka, the most important one. Actually, she has a Pure Land called the Perfect Penetration Pure Land, Yuan Tong Jing Tu. And she is also one of the three reliances of Amitabha Buddha is to my left. She is helping Amitabha Buddha. To his right, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. To his left, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. To his right, Mahastama Prapta. So we can say that she was a Buddha in the past, called the Tathagata of a correct Dharma radiance, and manifested as Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. And the sutra, primarily, her primary sutra is the Lotus Sutra. And the Avalokitesvara Universal Gate Sutra. There's this verse. That verse is from Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. What's the causes and condition that she became Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva? So when we learn chanting in the past, that's what we chanted. So Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva,
这个男众的比丘见面都会合掌念。
when the monks see each other, would join their palms and say Amitabha. And the bhikshunis or the nuns would say Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Namo Kwansin Pusa.
都一样可以到往生。
Whether you chant Amitabha Buddha or Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, you can be reborn to Sukhavati and also Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva.
楞严经里面
Because
是菩萨
the Surangama Sutra mentions Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva.
念佛，大势至菩萨念佛圆通藏，
So
圆通藏
the chapter on Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva
所以大势至菩萨也是念佛成就。
perfect chanting the Buddha's name. So Mahastama Prapta had attainment through chanting the Buddha's name. Therefore, whether Amitabha Buddha, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, or Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva,
刚刚大家
any of these names will let you be reborn in Sukhavati. As you were practicing, I was seated here,
修你的
continually chanting.
我修我的法，
You do your practice, I do mine.
也是观世音菩萨，
It's also Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva's practice.
稍微跟大家有点不同。
Slightly different than yours, mine. First,
我请的是
I invoked Golden Mother.
第二个请的
Second,
是虎头金
I invoked Tiger Head Vajra.
头金刚，再来请的
And
阿
then
弥陀佛，
I invoke Amitabha Buddha.
再来请的就是阿弥陀佛。那么我还有请莲华生大师，
I also invoke Guru Padmasambhava.
那么再请文殊师利菩萨，
And then Manjusri Bodhisattva.
那么再请地藏菩萨，
And then Siddhikarma Bodhisattva.
再请观世音菩萨，
And Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva.
然后再请大势至菩萨。
And then Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva. All came
请
together.
了好多的菩萨。
So I invoke many
告完经之
deities.
后啊，我告完经念一半，你们已经念完。
And as you're chanting the Hiking Sutra, I was only halfway as you already finished. I also chanted the Hiking Sutra. That's for Avalokitesvara
我
Bodhisattva.
每天念告完经，
Every day I chant Hiking Kuan Yin Sutra. Who's? Of course, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva.
观明观世音，高明观世音，对不对？
Right? The Avalokitesvara Bodhisattvas in the Hiking Sutra. The expansively minded Avalokitesvara, the great wisdom Avalokitesvara, the observant Avalokitesvara, the noble Avalokitesvara, the expansively minded Avalokitesvara. So these four Avalokitesvaras, when you go to Kyoto
有这
in Japan, the Sanjuksa,
在八十
the
林场的
33 temples. When I went to Shikoku, the 88 temples of Kobodaishi, I encountered the Japanese version of hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra.
高王观世音，日本人也念高王观世音。
So the Japanese also chant the hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra.
这个西夏王国能够
And the Xia, the Western Xia
打西
kingdom
西夏王
could last that long
九世都打不下来，
because Genghis Khan was trying to attack the Western Xia kingdom for 9 times and did not succeed. Why?
大帝国占了整个
The Mongolian Empire occupied the whole northern
西藏都占，
part of the globe all the way to Europe. all the way to Tibet
成
even.
吉思汗唯有西夏王国他打不下，
Only the Western Shah kingdom could not be
成吉思汗
occupied.
气都气死了，
So Genghis Khan died from
西夏
frustration,
王朝
and after he died, the Western Shah kingdom still
都
lasted
念大王关系，
because they all chanted the hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra.
高王观世音经有灵有验，
So the hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva
消除诸
Sutra is very responsive. It's very responsive upon all requests because it can eliminate the suffering of birth and death and free us from all kinds of poison and harms. So in my Dhamma practice, I always add the hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra.
或者念妙法
And
华经里面的
or
菩萨普门
I would chant the Universal Gate Sutra of the Lotus Sutra,
大势至菩萨
or
和圆通藏，
chant from the Surangama Sutra, the Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva's method
和西方
of perfect penetration
的话有三
through
一个论
mindfulness of Buddha Amitabha.
阿弥陀经、
There are 3 treatises to go to Sukhavati.
受经、
That's very important. One is Amitabha Sutra, one is
神论、
Infinite Life Sutra, and then one is the Observing the Infinite Life
开始
Sutra,
学佛的时候，
and then the Deliverance Treatise. That's the Pure Line Sects.
我虽然学了密教，但是呢，
Although I studied Tantric Buddhism,
愿同
all the merit dedication is Pure Land School.
下济三
May all who uphold and chant Amitabha Buddha be born in the realm of Atma's bliss.
中的回向，
Repaying for full generosity from above, aiding those in the realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend birth and death like the Buddha, may we liberate all.
土中是往生
That belongs to the Pure Land School, to be reborn to Sukhavati.
同念佛者，
So in our Dhamma practice, we chant,
是从
may all uphold the Buddha, be reborn in the realm of utmost bliss, repaying for full generosity from above, aiding those in the realm below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death like the Buddha, may we liberate all. That's the merit dedication of the Pure Land School. Although it is Tantric Buddhism, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva's great compassion Dharani,
千手千眼观世音菩萨，
and that's the thousand-armed, thousand-eyed Avalokitesvara Dharani, or the great compassion Mahakaruna Dharani. That's a tantric mantra.
有楞严咒，
The Surangama Sutra has Surangama mantra. That's the longest mantra, Surangama mantra.
咒是楞严咒，
Of all the mantras, the longest one.
其中有大势至菩萨念
And
通藏，
in it, there is in the Surangama Sutra, there's the Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva presenting his method of spiritual cultivation of perfect penetration through the mindfulness of the Buddha. So why will I transmit the Dharma of Mahastama Prapta? Because he's mentioned in the Surangama Sutra. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva is really great. We are studying Tibetan Tantric Buddhism,
就是观世音菩萨的道场，
and the whole Tibet is the spiritual center of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva.
有人念观世音，
Otherwise, why would you chant Om Mani Padme Hum? That's the mantra of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Every Tibetan knows to chant Om Mani Padme Hum, and it's carved on all hills and mountains.
他们念的就是
There.
阿弥陀佛
They all chant Om Mani Padme Hum.
那是观世音菩萨，
That belongs to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and that's her spiritual center.
观世音菩萨还直接显化
Avalokitesvara directly manifested and was born as a human in Tibet. Songtsan Kampo, the Tibetan king, was an emanation of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. He was Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva's emanation. And Princess Wencheng was the manifestation of green Tara, and Princess Bhakti from Nepal was the manifestation of white Tara. And white Tara and green Tara were manifested by Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. So Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva was really incredible. He manifested so many. Why the whole Tibet is the spiritual place of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva? Why? Because below Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, the Zen master Niho, spiritually cultivated in a cave in Tibet, and a Raksasi appeared as a woman to him, and through the approval and permission by Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, allowed them to get married. The Zen master with the Raksasi and give birth to a child who went into the forest and married with 400 monkeys and gave birth to 400 children. And these 400 children were the ancestors of the Tibetans. So that was due to the monkey Zen master that was following Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, who went to a cave to cultivate spiritual in Tibet and got married to a Raksasi and produced the whole Tibetans. That's because Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva wanted to deliver the people in Tibet, because all Tibetans were the descendants of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. So the relationship is very interesting. That's written in the history. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva is truly great. He manifests everywhere, delivering sentient beings everywhere, and providing salvation upon hearing it. So they appears wherever they are prayed to or be asked to. So with 1,000 prayers, there are 1,000 answers. 1,000 requests, 1,000 answers. So Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva has such tremendous supernatural power to deliver sentient beings. Many people's yidam are Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, whether it's green Tara, white Tara, they all belong to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and many more physical manifestations, like including Hayagriva, the horse-headed Kuan Yin, Avalokitesvara, and also Mahakala, the white Mahakala, was manifested by Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva with 8 arms. And also the 8-armed Mahakala was manifested by Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva.
观世音菩萨是我们出不了 school 的大本尊。
So Avalokitesvara is one of the 8 primary deities of True Buddha School, next to Amitabha Buddha.
再来的9月的大法会
And our grand ceremony in September, that would be Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva as the main deity,
这一尊
as the Yidam. And this deity is very important.
大势至
In the Surangama Sutra,
分章，
there is this Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva's
还有一个
method of perfect penetration through mindfulness of the Buddha Amitabha. It's the same as Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. One is to the left, one is to the right of Amitabha Buddha.
有它的超
So why is Mahastamaprapta called the one with great strength or great power,
没想要
great authority? So whatever you like to have will be attained, will be obtained,
高的职位，好像
because he has great power.
你想升职，
So if you want to be promoted,
这个主席大势至，
you have to become primary supplicant for Mahastamaprapta, because the
是
name
一去啊，
is great strength, so you cannot lose the great strength. The great strength or the great authority will come by becoming the primary supplicant, then you will be promoted.
度众生一定要有大势，
To deliver sentient beings, you have to have great power.
是至菩萨是这样子
So therefore,
重要的。
this is the most important point of Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva. Therefore, this deity is extremely important,
因为啊，你要知道，
because you need to know,
你们常常念观世音菩萨，当然是很好。
of course, it's good that you often chant Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, but why don't you chant Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva?
不同人的身上，
Because he manifests in a different kind of
得
people.
到大势至菩萨的他的
But if you focus
关照，
on Mahastamaprapta
变
Bodhisattva,
成有大智
you will obtain his great wisdom eye, and you would have great wisdom and great authority and great power.
所以你知道，在很像是加拿大，
So you know, I think it's in Canada, there's a place,
他们是属于天主教的，
it belongs to Catholicism. They pray to,
也没有
Hmm?
耶稣，
they don't pray to Mother Mary,
他拜的是谁？
Jesus.
是父亲。
There's a church who prayed to Jesus' Father,
信仰
because nobody prayed to him. Everybody prays to Mother Mary or
就是耶和华，
Jesus, the Holy Son, or the Holy Father, Jehovah.
没有人
How about Jesus' Father? Nobody prays to him.
拜的是耶稣的父亲。
But that church especially enshrine and pray to Joseph, Saint Joseph, Jesus' father. Anybody knows?
对，反正去礼拜他的，你拿着拐杖去，可以拐杖挂在那里，人就可以出来，你就可以走路出来。
So if you go in and have to walk using a cane and pray there,
对不对？
and then when you walk out, you just leave the cane inside because you can walk. It's very miraculous
礼拜耶稣的父亲，因为耶稣的父亲从来没有人拜啊。
because nobody prays to Jesus' father. What's his name? Joseph.
耶稣没有人礼拜，大部分都是拜他的母亲圣母玛利亚。耶稣
Most people pray to Jesus' mother, Mother Mary,
耶稣的父亲谁拜？
and Jesus' father,
拜
Jehovah.
啊，只有那一间教堂有在拜。
Nobody prays to Saint Joseph except that church.
所以你今天 你只要礼拜了大势至菩萨。
So the same, if you pray to Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva, he would be very responsive because everybody keeps calling Namo Amitabha, Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Kuan Yin, but nobody calls on Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva. But I would like to stress, if you call upon Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva, it would be incredible. You can even fly to heaven.
真的，你看天主教圣母玛利亚。
Look at in Catholicism, Mother Mary and Jesus and the Holy Father, Jehovah, the Trinity, and everybody ignores Jesus Father except that church, and it performs the church that enshrines Saint Joseph was very miraculous. So for us, we will especially pray to Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva, and he would perform many miracles too. Now let's do the Q&A. The question from South Africa. South Africa. Lianhua Longyan. South Africa Federation. Federation of South Africa. In Grandmaster's 304th book, question and answers under the pine tree, Grandmaster mentioned the Bardo deliverance of Dharma brother M. M was delivered because his family requested Grandmaster to perform Bardo deliverance for him, and thus he received Grandmaster's precious 1,000 Dharma vessels Bardo deliverance. However, he was dragged down by a female vengeful ghost, his karmic creditor. Why was the female vengeful ghost not able to board Grandmaster's Dharma vessels and receive deliverance at the same time? Was it because no one requested Grandmaster to perform Bardo deliverance for her? Since Dharma brother M was present at the time too, why did he not say anything? Why did he not kneel down and apologize or repent to her? Throughout the entire incident, it was Grandmaster who pleaded with the female ghost to show mercy. It is therefore understandable that she refused to show mercy. In Article 25, there was Lotus Jitsu Ting confronted by karmic creditors. Everyone immediately began reciting sutras and mantras for him and prayed to Grandmaster. Then Grandmaster compassionately bestowed blessing upon him, and he recovered. But how about the karmic creditors? Do they also receive Grandmaster's blessings and deliverance and obtain liberation? Is it because none of his family member or friend requests Grandmaster's blessing and deliverance for them? So therefore, they are unable to receive Grandmaster's blessing and deliverance. Even if they are present nearby, can they not receive Grandmaster's blessing and deliverance? So the karmic creditors were the original victims. Had they not harmed, they would not come seeking repayment. Yet the victims did not receive Grandmaster's blessing and deliverance, while the perpetrator received Grandmaster's deliverance. How is this to be understood? Please forgive me if my wording is inappropriate, Amitabha. I'm just discussing the matter and not targeting any individual. So let me tell you about the 1,000 Dharma vessels Bardo deliverance. Actually, in this Dharma vessels Bardo deliverance is not under my control. I'm the one who performed the practice. That's correct. but the one who gathers all the spirits to be reborn in the Pure Land is Siddhikapa Bodhisattva. So I'm not just passing the ball to Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, okay?
我问谁？
You're asking me, then whom should I ask?
因为我没有那么多的名册啊。
Because I don't have the records. I said, okay, I will but to deliver you. As soon as I promise, I will definitely do it.
但也要地藏菩萨。
However, Siddhikapa Bodhisattva has to check.
能够上千艘法船的，
Only those who can board the 1,000 Dhamma vessels in order to be reborn in the Pure Land of Sukhavati.
没有在地藏
But
菩萨
those are not qualified to board.
被遗漏的，还是有。
Those that are not gathered or assembled by Siddhikapa Bodhisattva do exist.
要超度的，
To exist.
都是有缘人。大家都
But
是有
those
师尊的弟子也是有。
Those requiring Grandmaster's Bardo deliverance are those with affinities, including Grandmaster's disciples. However, I have made this
最
statement,
近才发生的事情。
something that just happened recently.
我做千山法船的超度，
As I was performing the 1,000 Dharma vessels Dharma Bardo deliverance, I was helping to Bardo deliver him, but he was not on the list,
他反而就
not on the register, and he was reincarnated into the animal realm.
做事情。
And I knew that this happened
他有来求师尊超度，但是他没有
He
办法
came
上千山法船。
to ask for Bardo deliverance, but he could not get to the Dharma vessel.
去的
He had to be born in the animal realm first,
然后
but for a short period of time, and then reincarnated again the second time in order to board the Dharma vessel.
然后再回来。
So he had to go to the animal realm first
超度的时候再，
to come back again.
然后再往生西方极乐。
As I was performing the Bardo deliverance and get on board to be reborn in the Pure Land. It had to be that way. Why?
是到畜生道的因缘。
Because he had the affinity, the causes and conditions to be reborn as an animal, so I could not Bardo deliver him directly.
这不是我本身的问题，这是
So that's not my problem. That's the problem of Siddhikapa Bodhisattva.
该哪一个人
It's not that because Grandmaster is compassionate about somebody.
该上
So it was filtered by Siddhikapa Bodhisattva who can board the Dhamma vessels and who cannot.
送忧民众，
So I always invite Siddhikapa Bodhisattva to assemble
苔藓不是我
and allow the spirits to be board the Dhamma vessels.
说法是我在
It's not decided by me.
地藏菩萨召集忧
It's
上千
done by Siddhikapa Bodhisattva.
地藏
He's the one who gathers all the spirits.
所有我们
So these problems
这些
belongs to Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, not
没
mine.
有办法，
I know what you're talking about,
烟回我也超度，什么东西我
but I cannot just but to deliver anybody, all of your karmic creditors, all the ghosts,
全部都
all the beings, and everybody has to be sent above.
魂全部
Then the Saha will be empty. They all would go to the Sukhavatis, and then Amitabha's head is going to swell so big.
头大如法斗，不是这样子的。
That's not the case. It depends on their causes and conditions and karma and cause and effect. But Master Lin Yu's father is different.
这个人本身的脸相一看，
The face, his face,
干坏事，
you can tell that he will not do any bad
心
things.
地很善良，
He's very kind. He has a very kind heart.
所以到
He had a very kind heart. So to be born in Sukhavati, you have to have good roots.
要有善根气，
So you have to be a good person. And second, you have to be single-minded in your mindfulness of the Buddha. You have to have affinity with the Buddha. If you have no affinity, how can you go there? But there are bad people, evil people go to Sukhavati. Why? Because at the moment of death, they were pointed and transformed by the good spiritual guide quickly to chant the Buddha's name, like the prisoners, the death sentence prisoners who could bear many sariras, because while in the prison they were taught to chant Hiking Sutra, and they continually chanting as much as they could. They were to be hanged to death. So at the moment of death, they repented all they heard wholeheartedly and chanted the Guru mantra as well as the Hiking Sutra as much as they could. So why would they to be executed? Of course, because they committed crimes, heavy crimes. They were to be hanged to death, because in Singapore, the execution was by hanging, right? We have many Singaporean disciples here, right? The execution in Singapore is by hanging, right? Louder. Speak louder. Yes. That's very scary. And that's because you committed crimes. But before death, they were taught about Hiking Sutra at the Zhangyi prison, and then they took that and continually chanted that and repented. So that was good thought. They had that good thought. They just did chanting as much as they could wholeheartedly. So after their death and cremated, they produced sariras, all those prisoners. The death sentence, after the death sentence. So, and because with the good thought, they were reborn in Sukhavati. That was very sensational in Singapore. It was in the media. That's why there's the Pure Land where there are mixed sages and the mundane beings. And the mundane beings were born there, still carrying karma. So they have their affinities and karmic conditions. But you have to have good thoughts to be able to be reborn there. But Master Lien Yu's father could board the Dharma vessel very easily because he was very kind. He had a good heart. So, but if you committed evil deeds and not repent, then what can I do? There were two masters who could not get on board the Dharma vessels. Actually, they also went to a good place. One is Master Lien Yin of Rainbow Villa, could not get on board the Dharma vessel. And then where did he go? He went to the heavens of the four heavenly kings. The place of Vaisravana, Bisaman, the heavenly king. And then the abbot of the Chicago temple, Master Lien Long.
莲蓉上师现在呢，也是在毗沙门天，
also in the Bisaman heaven
他跟莲印在一起。
together with Lien Yin.
莲蓉跟莲印织成莲上师的住持，前住持
The former abbots
那个
Lien Long and Lien Yin,
彩虹莲上师的前住持，两
the
个
former abbot of Chicago Temple, and
在四天
Lien Yin, the former abbot of Rainbow Temple, both
也很好，
in the Bisaman
漂亮的地方，
heaven.
没有办法形容的。
It's a good place. It's very beautiful and
他们在那边很高兴，
indescribable. They were very happy there.
到同门
They finally met fellow disciple.
上千烧法船了。
They did not get on the Dharma vessels.
我知道的，莲蓉也上了毗沙门天，
That's what I know. Lien Long and Lien Yin
两个人在水
went to Bisaman Palace and they met in the Crystal Palace. Oh, you're here too?
在这里，好舒
It's so nice here, so pleasurable.
多彩的世界。
It's a very beautiful and colorful world.
阿难尊者也是到了毗沙门，
And Ananda too went to the
过毗沙门
Bisaman heaven, the Vaishravana heaven. It's mentioned in the Surangama Sutra.
四川王天也是很好的地方。
So the four heavenly
本尊
king's heavens are also very nice. That's the yellow Jambala, one of the 8 primary
毗
deities.
沙门天，
The yellow Jambala, Vaishravana of Bisaman.
经过88林场，到达
Those who have
站，
visited the 88 temples of Shikoku, the last temple
去过没有？很多
was the Bisaman temple with many steps. Have you been there?
那个阶梯有多少？
How many steps were there?
道场
That's the temple of Bisaman, Bisamon, the
沙门天
heavenly king of the north.
那个天界没有到，
That's not bad.
没有到地
That's the heavens.
二十道
That you don't go to the animal realm or hell or hungry ghosts,
到那里去。
to the place of Yellow Jambala. That's a good place.
莲蓉也是财主，
So they will all become wealth,
到哪里都会
wealthy beings, many palaces,
水晶宫殿很多的，
crystal palaces, many of them, and also the Sri Devi is there.
功德天财
Oh, and then the meritorious heaven and the talents heaven, they're all there. It's a wonderful place.
一切都是因缘，
Bisamonten.
不是我。
So that's all due to causes and conditions. It's not my responsibility, okay?
就超定了，不是
So it's not that because Grandmaster say, but to deliver for the Dharma 1,000 vessels, then they would be delivered. No, it has to be checked by Siddhikarma Bodhisattva due to their own cause and effect, to their karma. Now do you understand?
因果存在了，因缘果报存在，
It's
那很复杂，
it's all
很复杂，
bound by cause and effect.
算得出来。
All the karmic affinities are very complex and complicated. Only Siddhikarma Bodhisattva can figure it out. He's behind me. He supports me. I mean, I have to rely on him.
复杂的，
Don't ask me, ask Siddhikarma Bodhisattva. Because karma, cause and effect, causes and conditions are very complicated. Whether you can be reborn there or not, that's decided by Siddhikarma Bodhisattva. I can't. You're asking me? Then whom should I ask other than Siddhikarma Bodhisattva right behind me?
祈请地藏菩萨，
For the 1,000 Dhamma vessels by the deliverance, I would pray and invoke Siddhikarma Bodhisattva
由民众送上
to please take or guide all the Bardu spirits, the spirits to be on board the Dharma vessels.
或上千上，
So it's not my responsibility, it's Siddhikarma Bodhisattva's responsibility.
是你们
Like Master Lin Yin also came from Heilongjiang province, like you.
黑龙江怎么样？哈尔滨啊，对啊，哈尔滨。
Harbin, from the Harbin city
黑龙江的哈尔滨。
of Heilongjiang province. And also Master Lin Yu came from the same city, Harbin. You all came from Harbin, right? The mother too. So when Lin Yin was alive, they were all from Harbin.
不是我的责任。
So it's not my responsibility.
上得上千烧法场，不能上千烧法场，那不是我，那是。
Whether you can get on board the Dharma vessels or not, that depends on Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, not me. That's what I know.
让你想不到。
Because karma is inconceivable. It's unspeakable.
太复杂。
It's too complex, very complicated. That's all I could say. The answer to the question from South Africa, 莲花永远. Actually, the Dharma, 1,000 Dharma vessel battle deliverance were decided by Siddhikapa Bodhisattva whether you can get on board or not. Therefore, my battle deliverance is not 100%. So my Dharma vessel battle deliverance is not always 100%. It's decided by Siddhikapa Bodhisattva. So apologize or repent. Sometimes the blessing power is not as powerful as karma. Of course, the blessing has power, but the power of karma is also tremendous. Now, let's discuss the Surangama Sutra. It should not start by the two appearances of separation and union attached to the lucid wondrous true mind. Sensation arises. The essence of sensation reflects touch. Together with touch, it becomes the root. The source of the root is called the pure four-great elements. Thus, it is called the physical body, shaped like the sides of a waste drum. The floating root and four dust flow rush toward touch. We have talked about the eyes, ears, nose, and tongue. Now we talk about the body. So the physical body is shaped like this, like the waist drum. Does anybody understand this? Anybody understands this? The human body is shaped like a waist drum. Anybody understand these three words? Please raise your hand. If you don't understand, don't raise your hand. Nobody understands it. We are asking Grandmaster. I don't know.
这是什么东东？腰骨霜。
What is this? What is this?
腰我是知道腰了。
I know waist.
饿了就。
That's Taiwanese.
大家知道什么叫腰骨霜？不知道嘛，对不对？
Do you know what this is?
人的身体的，如同腰。
So, the physical body
水缸。
is shaped.
瘦的就像。
I would say the heavy one, it looks like a water barrel,
对不对？
and the skinny one is like a bamboo.
瘦的就像竹竿。
Then everybody would understand, right?
讲说人的身体。
Or you just say, human's body is like a monkey, then you would know that. Because a human is similar to a monkey or somebody. And the woman is like a frog, and the man is like a toad. That's a metaphor too, something that you can imagine. But what is this? Sides of a waist drum. It's probably from ancient time. I translated from Sanskrit into Chinese, and the translation was really bad. Please check. What is it? If AI knows.
AI 的。这个跑掉。腰骨霜在传统医学或日常口语中，通常指腰椎或腰背部的脊椎骨。脊椎骨人的形状像脊椎骨，哪里像脊椎骨？
It's the spine? No, I think that's not right.
腰部不是，这可能是由于腰肌劳损或腰椎间盘突出。腰骨霜在传统医学或日常口语中，通常是指腰椎和腰背的脊椎骨，等于是脊椎骨。他讲的是脊椎骨。人身体像脊椎骨吗？不像啊，根本不是。
Is our body like spine?
骷髅啊，人的身体像骷髅吗？
Like a skeleton? No. No, the flesh is gone, no.
男的像癞蛤蟆，女的像青蛙。
The men are like toads and the women are like frogs. Then you can imagine, right? Or the fat one is like a water barrel and the skinny one is like a bamboo stick. Or human body is like a monkey, something that you can imagine. Like a skeleton? Like a spine? That's not right. What is Surangama Sutra talking about?
不过讲，由离合等两种相谋，人身体的感觉。
We're talking about separation and union. So the feelings of the body is the contact between humans or separation. Contact and separation. Two kinds of feelings. So when you shake hands, you have some feeling. When you have contacts, you would have feelings. Where do feelings come from? If you don't have any context, you have no feelings. If your body is in contact with heat, you would feel warm. If you are in contact with cold or ice, then you would feel cold. Or with the air or temperature, then you would have a feeling when you're in contact with those. So the body is about the separation and contact. So when it is separate, then there's no feeling. I don't know if I write in my books. I should. In my elementary school, my girlfriend, we went one time. We went to the Taiwan Electric Power outing. That they had the car, a vehicle, and we got into the car, and my leg touched her leg for a long time. From our dormitory to the district Gusan district in Kaohsiung. We rode in the car and touching her legs. So I did not even know what's in the movies. Because you had the feeling when you were in contact. How could you say? Had it been a boy, then I would not feel anything. It's just like left hand holding the right hand. No feeling at all. So, is there any feeling when your left hand touches your right hand? No. Why? So how can you have a feeling? They're both your hands. But when you hand your girlfriend's hand, then you would feel differently. So, when Miss Gao sat right across from me, and then our knees touch each other from our dorm to the movie place, it's unforgettable until now, all my life. Until I'm 80 now. My elementary school girlfriend, when we touch each other's legs, I still had the feeling until now. I still have it. So that's different. It's describing that it's something empty inside, but we're not empty inside. So where do feelings come from? When they're separated, there are no feelings. If my legs did not touch my girlfriend's legs, why do I still have the feelings until now? Had we not sit in the same car, had not across from me, then I would never touch her. I would have never touched her. Then there would be nothing special. So such a sensation was different. I wrote a book. And the title in simple is The Eternal Star to be continued, sending off my love. Oh, I place my love in the mountains and waters. So we place our love in the mountains and rivers. Sometimes when I see someone and I said, please send greetings to someone with my true love. That was true. But it's best not to see her again. If I see her again, it would be horrible because my memory would be broken, would burst. Like when I was little, my guiding teacher, my intern teacher, I was even earlier than Song Yao. I fell in love with my teacher in elementary school. I rode my bike from Kaohsiung to Pingtung to Sengdi Li to find her. Where did I find my courage to bike? I wouldn't even bike to Seattle here. But back then, I rode my bike from Kaohsiung to Pingtung, Kaohsiung to Fengshan, San Kuai Chu. And then Liu Kuai Chu. What's that called? 九七堂. That's where your house is. And Zhongping Bridge, the long bridge, where the train is also the train and the highway. And then Dajia, and then Pingtung, and then the area Sengli, to find her home and knock at her door, and was very pleased to see the teacher and slept overnight at her house, and then was sent back the next day, sent home the next day. I was in elementary school. In my book, I wrote teacher Yu Gui, actually. Her last name was not Yu, was Zhang. Our disciples were just too nosy, and they searched this person in Pingtung. She got married, had children and grandchildren. And then she took a photo of her and her husband. So took a photo of her and her husband. When I saw the photo, oh my God. It's a grandma, just like the old Bodhisattva now. So she had destroyed this disciple from Pingtung, destroyed my image, my impression, because this disciple went to the place and looked for her and found her. She's in her 90s. That's about right. I was the 6th grade in elementary school. And she graduated from the teacher school. How old when you graduate from the teacher's college? About 20. And 6th grader, it's 12. So 8 years difference.
像人有上师的妈妈这样。
Now at the age of Master Lien Yu's mother, she's 88 now.
我是80岁，
I'm 80,
8岁。
so 8 years difference.
我一看到她的这个面孔，
When I saw her face in the photo, it bursts my fond memories.
保留她那个青春美貌的样子。
You see, because I maintain that youthful and beautiful image in my brain
从10几岁到一直到现在，哎，
since my teenage year until now.
她在教我书的时候，从我旁边走过去，就香风习习。
When she was teaching, she passed by me and she was exuding fragrance.
那个就是身体上跟身体上的离跟合。
So that's the separation and contact between bodies.
她经过你，
When they're separated, there's nothing. But where they're in contact, a feeling survives.
哇，
When
感觉就不一样哎。
Oh, when her breath was caressing your face, that feeling was very different. And she especially advised me on my homework
你留下来，
that you stay and everybody get off class and you stay and I will teach you for another half hour. See, she especially paid attention to
因为
me
补课我才爱上她。
and to teach me. So that's because of that I fell in love with her, because we sat face to face.
讲话那个口气吹到我脸上，
And when she spoke, her breath was on my face and I was dizzy.
合跟离
So that's about context and separation. Two major differences.
所以
That's about the body.
留意绷住，
So the floating root and four dust flow and rush toward touch. That's about the body.
太晚了，10点
It's late,
15分。
10:15 now.
我本来身体本来要讲什么？
I was going to
昨
talk
天晚上
about this, about the body last night.
大吉拉姆
Tajilamu,
特别昨天晚上能够进到我结界里面，
she could come inside my protection boundary.
我两
Only Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Tajilamu,
是用
two levels of
那
protections.
个六甲神咒
The first level of protection is with the 6 Jia
阿弥陀佛嗡啊
divine mantra
发出的红光的结界2重，第一重是白
and
光
white light enveloping me, and then Amitabha Buddha red light protecting me.
到我结界
Two levels of protections.
是我的。
The ones who can enter into my protections are either Buddhas and Bodhisattvas or very close ones.
扎基拉姆
And Tajilamu can. She came last night
跟我一个晚上，
and was with me for the whole night.
那是和
That's about contact or union.
和的状况是怎么样？扎基拉姆
So
知道她有多漂亮就多。
what happens, Tajilamu is so beautiful, however beautiful you can imagine. When Tajilamu appears, there are no other beauties in the
天
world,
下没有一个
under the heavens.
比得上扎基拉姆。
There is not one woman that can be comparable to Tajilamu. She gathers all the best of the beauties of the Asura world.
所以呢，
Therefore,
没有办法形容这种
it's impossible to describe her beauty.
明天再讲。
Let's continue tomorrow.
跟大家在讲这个身体，要讲得深刻一点。
I want to leave a stronger impression about the body.
身体
When the body touches another body,
没有办法形容。
it's hard to describe.
你看我的脚跟
Just my legs
碰到脚，
touching the legs of my elementary school girlfriend would leave such a strong impression that I can't even forget until now. And then the fresh
没有忘，
breath of my teacher just passing by,
最重要。
still in my memory till now. See how important the body is. It's already stored in the consciousness.
这种东西，
Next, we will talk about consciousness, and that's what it
为
is.
什么世间的人会这样子？
Why humans in this world
情歌唱
produce so many love songs?
就是因为大家的心
It's because their hearts are stored, are placed in the Saha world. They cannot transcend that.
就变成神仙了。
If you know how to transcend, you would become holy, sacred, and sagely. If you don't know how to transcend it, you're just mundane beings.
这个是重点所在。
That's the key point.
你要超越什么？
So the body has to transcend the 6 roots, 6 deaths, and 6 consciousnesses. You have to transcend them all. How?
经里面有提到，
It will be mentioned in the Surangama Sutra.
跟你讲。
In the future, I will teach the methods,
当然，释迦牟尼也会
the 6 roots, 6 deaths, and 6 consciousnesses. Of course, Sakyamuni Buddha will talk about how to cultivate spiritually.
都会提到。
And 25 bodhisattvas will also mention the methods of spiritual cultivation.
多去追求，
You cultivate spiritually using your ears, your eyes, your nose, your tongue, your
一
body,
念去修行，
or your mind. To cultivate spiritually will be mentioned in the Surangama Sutra by the 25 bodhisattvas.
超越这个六根，
So you need to transcend the 6 roots.
释迦牟尼也会提到。
And Sakyamuni Buddha will mention that. We'll talk about it. That's all for tonight. Thank you very much.
宝贵的法语开。